All right, welcome back, everybody, to Medieval Dynasty. I'm the Bearded OG, and in this episode, we're going to start off with the ceremonial haircutting. I just rolled over into autumn, and I wasn't actually planning on starting the next episode, but this came up, so I figured, well, let's go ahead and start it and see what this is about. So, today's the day to carry on a long-established ancestral ritual. This tradition has been cultivated in my family for generations. Now it's my son's turn, his ceremonial haircutting. Whenever a boy reaches the proper age, it's time to leave his mother's side and begin to learn his father's teachings. We cut the hair as a symbol that the boy is ready to get rid of his childish effeminacy and become a man. Okay? My father was way more tied to tradition than I am. I remember him keeping his distance with me before the ritual. We truly bonded only after the haircutting ceremony. That was not the way I wanted to do it. I never wished to create a barrier between me and my son just because of some old tradition. But I was longing for this day nonetheless. Make a decision. Cut your son's hair, let him do the cutting. Let's let him do it. He might think that's kind of fun. Following my father's footsteps, I decided to take my son for his first hunt. This seemingly prosaic activity is filled with various principles that are crucial in a man's life. I just hope to be half as good of a teacher as my old man was. It's time to venture forth. All right, educate your son about the awaiting dangers. Encourage him to have fun on the hunt. Scare him into obedience. Don't say anything. I think education about dangers on the hunt are probably a good thing to do. Let's do that. The adventure has begun. After following the trail for some time, we encountered a majestic scene. A great white-tailed eagle soared through the sky above us. He then dived down and landed on a branch just across from us. Make a decision. Shoot the eagle with your bow, let your son take his time and admire the scene, rush the boy, and continue with the hunt. Let's just admire the scene. I like that one. The boy's curiosity and his rumbling stomach made him forage through the bushes in search of a quick snack. He came across some tasty-looking mushrooms. Although his instincts served him well, his experience was clearly lacking. A seasoned mushroom picker wouldn't even want to touch the ones that the lad was trained to swallow whole. Stop him from eating and yell at him for not being careful. Stop him from eating and explain to him why it would be a mistake. Let him eat the mushrooms and learn from his carelessness. What? Wouldn't, okay, well, I guess it doesn't say that they're lethal, but I think, I mean, yeah, let's go with number 2. This would definitely leave an impact, but it would also damage, his perception of me, so let's go with number 2. Because we're educating him about this is not a good idea, but we're not being an asshole about it, right? Okay. Our trip continued. When I heard some grunting in the bushes, I was sure we were being awarded with a delicious boar. I instructed the boy to be quiet, and we both snuck through the scrubs. Unfortunately, we didn't find what I was expecting. Well, indeed it was a boar, but no older than a few weeks. The little boarlet was as adorable as it was clueless. Small targets are good practice. Kill the boarlet for sport. You cannot ignore nature's gifts. Kill the boarlet for meat. Let your son come closer and pet the boarlet. Scare the boarlet away. It should get back to its mother. You know what? There's plenty of other game we can get. Let's let the kid have some fun and pet the boarlet. What the hell? The hours passed by and we still didn't manage to find any real game, but I was really glad to have had the opportunity to spend with my son like that. I shared some stories with him. We laughed together like old friends. Then we came across a sick deer lying in the center of the glade. It didn't look too well, certainly unfit to become our dinner. Tell your son to look away and end the deer's misery, but instruct the boy to watch. Make the boy finish off the deer himself. Leave it be and let nature do its thing. I think, okay, so the deer's suffering. And I think that it's probably a good principle to teach our son that it's a good thing to end the suffering of animals. And we don't want him to be like a complete wuss either, so I think we're going to go with number 2. And we'll just explain to him, hey, this is tough, son, but sometimes you got to do tough, make tough decisions in life. But they're still the right decision, right? Okay, so let's do that. The hunt was coming to an end, and we were yet without a proper catch. It was a good thing that I had a backup plan prepared for a situation like that. I set a rabbit trap nearby, and it was time to find it. A rabbit is no prize to be excited about, but it sure beats coming back empty-handed. However, when we came to the trap, I noticed the string was slashed. The cut was clean, and it was clearly done with a knife. Somebody was here and was cheeky enough to steal our rabbit. It may be too dangerous to continue with a child. It's best to go back. Letting somebody steal from you is a sign of weakness. Proceed onwards. Yeah, again, we want to teach the boy to be kind and compassionate, but at the same time, he's got to stand up for what's right and have a little bit of a backbone too. So I think we'll go with number 2. We followed the tracks I found near the trap. Right when I thought it was a dead end, an arrow flew by my ear. Then a bandit emerged from the forest. I hoped that he missed on purpose, showing at least a shred of mercy. The outlaw came closer to us with an arrow pointed at my eye and demanded all of our belongings. The refusal was supposed to be punished by death. Attack, disarm, and kill the bandit. Survival of the fittest. Attack, disarm, and let the bandit go. We're not the same as them. Create a diversion and run. Not honorable, but effective. Cooperate calmly and do as he asks. It's not worth risking your life. Okay, so I think that if we let the bandit go, he's probably going to continue his banditry. And he did threaten my life and probably my son's life. So I think in the name of justice, we're going to go with number 1. And that's how our first joint adventure ended. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. A day I'll never forget, and I hope my boy won't either. May he become a better man than I ever was, walking his own path without the need to follow or please anyone. When we came back home, he didn't leave my side until the end of the day. I've noticed how closely he observed my every move. There's nothing more satisfying to a father. I hope he'll never lose his focus, ambition, and determination. I really admire that about him. Okay. Oh, that was kind of cool. A little bit different. Okay, so I guess obviously those decisions will have some kind of an impact on our son. Let's talk to him for a second. Okay, so he currently has 68 affection. I don't know if that changed because of our decisions or not. And he's 7 years old, so let's go ahead and give him a toy sword. Thank you, Dad. You're the best. That gave us +3, so now he's 71 affection. Okay. Goodbye. Okay, see you, kid. All right, that was neat. So yeah, it's autumn, and let's see here. Now I have I just did my next produce harvest, and we have a bunch of plum wine. We have a little bit of an overstock of pear wine and a little bit of an overstock of cherry wine. Those are the top 3 sellers. And I'm wondering if maybe I miscalculated on the number of stalls, because we have a pretty big surplus of the plum wine. So what I'm thinking, I mean, we could do a couple things, right? We could add more stalls, but then that also means we need to add more villagers and more homes. Looks like we have a couple of damaged buildings, so I guess that one's already being repaired. We'll get these repaired here. Oh, yeah, I guess they're all being repaired because they got the green thingy on them. Okay. And so, you know, if we look at the stalls here, yeah. The other thing, I guess, you know, that we can do, of course, is we can try and manually sell some of these too. Oh, you know what? Actually, what I was going to look at was if we take a look at our houses. So we have one available home at the moment that doesn't have anybody in it. Okay. Well, here's what I think we're going to do. Let's actually go take a quick look-see at our farming situation. And looks like we have some traps that we need to do as well. Okay, so the villagers will need to harvest the beets and the carrots and the cabbage and the flax. And they have 1 day to do all of that, which means I'll probably end up coming back here later in the day to finish up for them because I'm not so sure they're going to be able to get all of it done in 1 day. And then these fields are just in process to being prepared for the spring planting of flax. So I'm not really too worried about these fields, though. They should, be able to get them done fairly soon. So what we can do in the meanwhile, during the... Oh, I guess I have some skill points too, right? Diplomacy. So I got 2 points in diplomacy. What we could do is do inspiring speech, which will basically give us better production. I mean, we don't really have a problem, keeping food, water, and wood going. What's this one? Slower mood reduction. I haven't really had a problem with that. More affection points gained when flirting, interacting with family, or giving gifts. So that would be good for getting our son's affection up more. Don't really care about Dynasty points. We got lots of those. Revealing NPC personalities during conversations. Yeah, I don't know. Why don't we just go ahead and increase production? There we go. Okay, so we have maxed out 50% faster production by the NPCs. I wonder if that would also apply to the farmers too. I don't know. That'd be nice if it did. Any hoozle. All right, so I think what we'll do, guys, then is maybe we'll work on some of the stories. And then in the winter time, I can go around and try and sell off some of the excess wine. If we take a look at our journal, we only have 8 more years left for Alwyn's story, and we have 10 years left for Unigos. And I have no idea how far along I am in these stories. One of the things you guys have told me is that if I use a crossbow on Alwyn's story, you tend to do better, and also the further away that I get, the more points I get when I do hit the target. So maybe we try that. If we take a look, see at... I've got 11 bolts there. Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we head on over to Gostovia, and we'll do some more archery competition with Alwyn. Hopefully that doesn't continue on for too much longer because, I don't know, I'm not finding it to be super enjoyable. Partly because Alwyn himself doesn't actually join us for the archery contest like he's supposed to. And I guess that's a bug, so it's a little bit irritating. But, yeah. So let's do that. We're going to head on over to Gostovia, so I'll meet you guys over there. Alright, Alwyn's probably up in the fields. Let's go have a chitty chat with him. Oh, you know what? I don't think we looked... I didn't look at my stores to see how much money we had sitting in there from our stalls. There he is. Hello, Hunter. Is it time for our next tournament? Yeah. We will no longer play the target shooting competition. It's fun for rookies. Oh, where does this change of attitude come from? Giselia herself trained me. I've been hunting wild game for a long time now. You've certainly gained a lot of confidence. I hunted a bear once. Nothing scares me anymore. A bear? Congratulations. This is actually a big thing. It took me 9 hours. Not only are they hard to kill, but they are also hard to find. Can you beat that time? We won't know that until I give it a try. Fine. You have 8 hours. Kill a bear during this time, and I'll admit that you are the best hunter there is. As nice as that may sound, I'd prefer something of more value. In this case, let's make it work both ways. If you fail, I keep your 200 coins, paid in advance, as you may not come back. It's good to know that you are concerned about me, my friend. What if I make it in time? You will get the coins back, plus my share, and even my bow extra on top of that. That sounds very tempting. Deal? Okay. Any hints? Any hints regarding recent bear presence in the valley? You try in the southeast. They like it. They like to settle in caves near reservoirs. Okay. So we have 8 hours to kill a bear. Right. Okay. I think the closest bear. Let's go to here. Is probably the one that's this one here. Yeah, that one's not too far away. There's one way up here, but that's a little further out. And then, of course, there's one way down here, which is also further out. And this one is relatively easy to take out, too, just because I can kind of cheese him a little bit from the cliff. All right, well, let's go kill ourselves a bear. Do I have poison bolts in my inventory? I do. Look at that. Okay, so that'll help. That will help. Okay, let's go up this way. This is a bear, people. We're not messing around with a bear. Let's switch to poisoned bolts. Okay, there he is over there. Oh shit, there's 2 bears. Oh my god. All right. And one sees me too. Yeah, I can't get to him from here. Okay, let's shoot this one instead. I did not know he was going to be able to come up here. He's almost down. He's running now. Trying to get a headshot on this guy. We're going to kill 2 bears instead of 1. Let's see what Alwyn thinks about that. Okay, that bear's dead. Because the poison got him. This one's hurting. I think I missed him there. Okay, we got him that time. Hold still, yo. Okay, he's probably going to succumb. Yeah, he's going to die to the poison. There, he's down. Okay. 2 bears. Not 1. Not 3. But 2. Okay. Carrying too much. Okay, the other bear ran off over this way. He's over here, probably. Yep, there he is. So is Alwyn going to give us double our money since we got 2 bears? I don't know. Oh, shit. Big bandit camp. So that's right about there. Let's leave a marker there. Oh, another bandit camp? Whoa. Wow. 2 big ones right next to each other.
Onward.
Onward. Huh. Okay. This was the location of our original village.
Let's
I've
go.
been back here in a while. All the trees have grown back. But yeah, we actually had a little village there, and we had a little field right in this spot. So that's kind of cool to come back and see it back in its natural state. I don't think I'm going to stop for that cart there. Okay, brah. Someone ordered a big bad bear? Or two? You did it again, unstoppable as always. I try to do my best. Testing my limits has always excited me. Alright, that's enough boasting. Here's my bow. You've earned it, because you are better than me. You've always been. You don't have to give it to me. I just like to compete for its own sake. No, you won fair and square, and I don't deserve it. I should return to work in the fields, as I did all my life. Are you serious? Yes, and don't try to change my mind. Dreams are beautiful, but real life is something completely opposite. I won't argue if that's what you want. At least you've had an adventure, right? This is true, and I thank you for that. Now it's time for me to get back to my duties. Take care of yourself, my friend. See you later. Okay. So we're not done. Wait for next season. All right. Well, at least the damn archery contest is over. I was starting to get a little bit weary of that. All right. What time is it? It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go ahead and talk to Unigast. Okay, wait. We need to... Next season, not next year. Okay. So let's just... Yeah, let's give Unigast a little bit of a chat here. But I don't want to stay out too much longer because I need to make sure we get the... the fields done. So... oh, wait a second. Okay, let's get off the horse here.
There is something hypnotizing about us.
He's back over this way. All right, bud. What do you got to say for yourself? Hello there, dear Ratsimir. Hello. How's life treating you? Like a father? What do you mean? Strict but fair, I guess. Very mature of you to say. You really are growing. Seeing more and more of those shades of gray, huh? I do, but gray still consists of black and white. Things are still good and bad, right and wrong. It doesn't change that. I never said it does. Tell me more about my uncle. Not sure if I have time for stories. I'm certain you'll find some. Alright, maybe one story. Haha, I just remembered a good one. Me, Eorden, and Woolrad were trying to catch this rooster who swallowed a bunch of pearls and... Tell me about his death. Oh, Ratsimir, I've told you already that he passed away in his sleep. But people don't usually just die during sleep, do they? Well, sometimes they do. Time is merciless. Eorden was an old man already. Did he die of old age, then? No. A disease? Some ravaging sickness? No. Then how come he didn't wake up the next morning? Ratsimir, I have never lied to you. So why start now, huh? I knew this day would come. Finding words to describe it, to explain, it seems abstract, undoable. But the silence has been burning a hole in my chest for far too long. I did it, Ratsimir. I killed my best friend, my brother. Don't call him that. I understand your pain, your feeling of betrayal, but I'm begging you, believe me, that it brought me no pleasure whatsoever. Why did you kill him? It's complicated. Okay, was it greed? You wanted to be the Castellan instead? Was it jealousy? Living all these years in the Eorden's shadow, the sense of inferiority must have been constant for you. Was it vengeance for how he toyed with Kestrel, for robbing you of your one true love? Okay, I don't think it would have been greed. Probably not jealousy, because he had kind of accepted that Eorden was just Eorden. So I think probably Kestrel would have been the most likely reason. I have no idea, though. Let's ask this. If you're looking for a reason I hated him, you found one. But I didn't kill him out of hatred. What he did to Kestrel was awful. But he didn't try to be cruel. Besides, every part of this love triangle was hurting someone. We're all to blame. What about the baby? You could have been a father. It doesn't matter who was the father. This beautiful baby boy didn't draw even one breath of air. His life was over before it began. That's a real tragedy. It was yours, Kestrel told me. Are you serious? Yes, it was your child that burned on that day. All these years, I've never stopped wondering. My son. May you rest in peace. I don't know what a good father I have been, but I would love Love you to the end of days. Okay, why are they still giving me these options? So why did you do it? Out of fear of Jordan's doings, of what he could become. After he killed that man in Novice, I stayed with him when everyone else left, but I couldn't stop thinking about what he did, how little it bothered him. He was angry at them for breaking up the pact, but he didn't see his fault in it. And what was worse, he didn't even seem troubled by taking a man's life. That's when I started wondering, has he done that before? Jordan didn't want to stop the mission. I convinced him that it was time for it and that we should move to the valley. I thought we could put all of what happened behind us, just rest and try to find happiness in the little things. But Jordan had a restless mind. For him, not moving up, not breaking another barrier was torture. When we arrived here, there was only a couple of villages. We built ourselves a house in Gostovia. I truly believed that this would be enough, but not for Jordan. A week had not passed when he declared that he wanted to travel and meet the king, and that he's planning on doing it alone. 2 weeks later, he came back as the new castellan of the valley. He moved into his own house, for appearances, he called it. Since that moment, he was getting more and more distant from me, from anyone, really. I'd been seeing him walking around Gostovia like a true leader, shaking hands, hugging babies, making small talk, always with a big smile on his face. He really seemed great, if you didn't know what was hiding behind that smile. We were living right next to each other, and yet, after some time, we were talking only a couple of times a year. He was afraid of me, afraid of his moral compass. He didn't want me to restrict him anymore. Conscience was a burden, so he got rid of it entirely, and that's when his worst side took control of him. He didn't see any shred of sincerity left, just a constant mask. Or I didn't. Years went by. He was going more and more often to meet with the king, so one day I started a little investigation, and what I found out sickened me. Jordan had become the very thing he swore to eradicate, a festered lord whoring around with his filthy friends, getting rich off people's misery. He was benefiting from wars, selling weapons, shaking hands with rapists, just to be in their good graces. He had to be stopped. It took me months, years, to get to it, and I feel responsible for every wrong that he had done during this time. I should not have hesitated, but killing my own brother, it felt unimaginable. Yet I knew I was the only one who could do it. I sneaked into his home, during heavy rain. He was sleeping so peacefully as if all the sinister thoughts had left him for the night. I was staring at his face for what felt like ages before I took out my blade. Made one clean cut and it was over. He didn't even open his eyes, and just like that, it was done. You know what's going to happen now, right? You will pay for what you've done. I do, and I'm not going to fight it. Whatever you decide, I will accept. Okay, wow. I understand your reasons. It required a strong will and a good heart to do what you do. A good heart, but the blood has been spilled. You should leave the valley and never come back. You don't deserve forgiveness killing your family just because you think it's right, but I will not let you die a self-proclaimed martyr. You will live with the guilt of what you've done until the time gets... You were right, everything is soaked in gray. I don't condemn you for your decision. However, you took a man's life, and by the law of the king, it's punishable by death. You are a murderer. None of your lies will change that. The one thing you deserve is death. You will be hanged for what you've done, and I hope you will never know rest. Wow. Why do I gotta decide this? I think... that, I mean, who appointed him judge, jury, and executioner, right? Yeah, even though Jordan was being a prick. And, I mean, if I'm going to be a dynasty leader, I need to make a decision that a leader would make. I mean, there's some things in almost all of these responses that I think, are applicable, but not as a whole. I think that, oh God, I'm kind of leaning towards 3, I guess. I don't think he's lying to me. But I think he does need to pay for... He murdered somebody. Whether it was justified or not is questionable, but he did actually murder somebody. And if you're going to have a society that's not going to fall into chaos. You have to have, you know, law and order, right? So I think 3 is the right one, or at least it's the best choice out of all of them. Okay.
I have learned a lot from you, Unigost. You taught me what it means to be a man. That what needs to be done doesn't always feel right. And I need you to understand that this doesn't either. But blood has been spilled, and the law of this realm demands more blood in return. Is this just? Does true justice even exist? You can rest now, Unigost. And may you find peace in that rest.
Oh my God. That was intense. I was not expecting it to end like that. I mean, I didn't really know how it was going to end. Holy shit. So who's the castellan now? Am I the castellan? Who do we pay taxes to? Maybe the king will, you know, he'll probably appoint a new one, I'm guessing. I don't know. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. I mean, it's interesting that that decision was put on me, because who am I, right? I mean, I've got my own village and I'm up and coming, but I guess the king likes me, but I don't hold any, like, office. I don't have really any authority for stuff like that, that I'm aware of. So, wow, I guess I'm a little bit surprised with how all of that turned out. And there wasn't really any good outcome, not for Unigost anyways. I mean, basically he was either going to be executed or he was going to be exiled. Well, what a bummer, man. What a bummer for Retchimir. Okay, well, there you have it. Holy shit. All right, I'm going to head back home and make sure the field work is finished up. And then
Hello.
roll on over into winter. And just kind of keep moving through the seasons. So I think this is probably as good a place as any to wrap up the episode. What I am going to do in the wintertime, or my plan anyways, is to go try and sell some of our excess wine. Actually, before I do let you go, let's just take a quick look and see how much money we have from our stalls. Wow, I'm a little, I wasn't expecting that to happen. I don't know. I'm a little sentimental about it, maybe, if that's the right word. I don't know. Okay, it's good. So we have 20,000 coin there, and so we're now up to 320,000 and 255 coin. Okay, so yeah, actually, here, let's also grab these 2 items from you and put those away too. All right, guys, yeah, so I'm going to let you go here, and then I will bring you back in the next episode, whenever that may be. I would like to, you know, move through a few more seasons and advance the game a little bit more before I bring you back, unless, again, you know, something real significant happens. We do need, you know, we only have 8 years left to do that, so I am aware of that and want to, you know, make sure we get that done before it's too late, because I am kind of curious to see how things are going to turn out with Alwyn. Hopefully, in a much more positive outcome than what happened with Unigost. Jesus. And with that being said, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share out the video. And we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Bye-bye.